Hey, I'm Michael Wenning, co-founder of Passive. 70% of people would take a better job tomorrow if job hunting didn't suck. That's why we built Passive. Our AI learns what you like and keeps surfacing smarter matches and opportunities. It pulls in company culture, perks, and reviews so you can research in seconds. And when you're ready, tailors your resume instantly to beat the filters and land interviews faster. Download Passive on iOS and let opportunity find you.
McDonald's has a no poach agreement in their employment clauses where you can't poach from other franchise stores or corporate stores, even after the person's fired for a period of 6 months.
Only 43% of U.S. workers say they plan to job hunt in 2026. That is a massive drop from last year. Instead of chasing titles, raises, or shiny new roles, people are prioritizing job security, predictability, and staying put.
More than half of U.S. workers say they're lonely, disrupting productivity at work.
Skill shortages are sometimes just indecision with better PR.
Employers still do not trust employees to get the work done, right?
Workforce planning is reactive instead of directional, like we talked about.
The difference between those and the ones we're seeing today, they were manually coded by humans. Now they've got this AI-powered brain.
These don't necessarily lack talent, they lack confidence. And that changes everything. And it means that kind of a longer time to fill isn't a process problem, it's a trust problem. Wolf of Wall Street.
There you go, Wolf of Wall Street. What is going on, everybody? It's Ryan Leary and William Tincup, and you are listening to The Barf, watching The Barf. I just completely butchered that.
We're barfing it up. That's what we're doing.
We're barfing it up. The Wolf of Wall Street.
Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, that might have been one of the better parts of the movie.
Dude, I love it because the whole scene is great of him talking about masturbation, cocaine, doing cocaine, martinis.
Covers all the bases.
It covers everything, and yeah, and I like Matthew McConaughey. So
I do like, you know what, I like him. I'm not a huge fan of DiCaprio.
Really?
I don't know why. I'm not a huge fan of him, but I do like McConaughey. I don't know why. It's just something about him.
Do you watch, obviously, have you watched The Departed?
Yes.
And you didn't like Leo in that?
No, I did. I did like that. I did like him in that, yeah.
What about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Tarantino's movie?
Yeah, when I think of DiCaprio, I think Titanic. I don't know why.
Does that music start playing in your head?
Yeah. I don't know why.
The funniest thing is Michael tried to get me to go see Titanic for so many weeks when it first came out. And I'm like, I already know the ending. Like, there's no... like, why would I go see a 3-hour movie that I know the ending to? Like, what's there's no suspense. Like,
boat hits ice, boat goes down.
Yeah.
Nobody floated on doors.
What am I...
By the way,
what am I going to learn here that's new?
Yeah.
Boat sinks? People die?
Yeah. It's Maddie's. So Maddie's my youngest, for those listening. She loves That's like her favorite movie is Titanic.
Henry had a phase of Titanic.
Yeah, she loves it.
I get it.
But she still doesn't understand the door scene. Like, why didn't she just move over?
Yeah, bitch.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah. Well,
slide over and help her brother out. Like, what are you doing?
So
nope, there's not enough room on the door for both of us.
Yeah. So all right. So we're back. First show of the year.
2-6.
Yeah. This is it. First show of the year. So we're probably a little rusty, but we got a lot of stuff to talk. You washed your hair. It's fluffy.
Dude, this is what happens if you ever see my hair, and it's after I condition it. So this is going to sound odd to a lot of the listeners. I don't wash my hair a lot.
Me neither.
I don't put, stop it. I don't condition. I don't put any products in my hair. I don't put gel or mousse or hairspray or any of that. I don't do any of that stuff.
Every 6 months.
And the reason for that is 100 years ago, I had someone that I really respected in my family tell me, it's like, listen, your hair's not used to having all of these chemicals in them. Like if you go
Hmm.
back to caveman days and you push forward all the way through history, it's like this stuff we don't know the like a longitudinal study of what hairspray does to your hair.
You know, we've
It's
evolved since caveman days.
barely. Not as much as you think, brother. Not as much as you think.
Just
You say
saying.
so.
Just
However,
saying. Hey, look,
Maslow's
I used a
hierarchy
lot of
of
hairspray in
needs
my
would
day.
say, meh. Did you use a lot of product?
No, what? Oh, no, no, I didn't. No, I
No, I
just
mean, I
ah,
mean, no,
no,
no, I mean
no.
when you were younger.
Well, no, not really. Maybe some hair gel just
Yeah.
to, kind of get. I was in.
Your
It was
DJ
in the early.
days.
Yeah, yeah. It was in the early '90s days. It was like you had the little thing coming down like Michael Jackson, that type of stuff. Yeah. But yeah, no,
Were
not
you
since
a Michael Jackson guy or Prince guy?
Jackson.
I was Prince.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
I didn't really. I've never really gotten into Prince, but I've recently, like, when I hear his songs, I don't turn them off anymore.
Right, 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 right,
I
right.
used to turn them off, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
Jackson, because I had seen him for, I mean, you're younger than I am. I had seen him all my life. And Thriller, again, great album. Yep, I got it. However, like Prince, I don't know, it just spoke to me.
Yeah, there you
The
go.
artistry. So yeah, you were either one or the other. It's kind of like
Hmm.
the Beatles and Stones.
Yeah, but I never, like, I wouldn't just put the album on, right? Like, I wasn't like that. But if both of them came on, I'd keep Michael Jackson on. Like, Prince, I don't know, it just didn't work
Yeah, yeah.
for me. But
No, I get it.
whatever. All right. So
Go
I
ahead.
got something I want to throw your way first.
Let's
Quick
do it.
thought. So I was kind of looking through some stuff, and McDonald's story popped up. And I didn't know they were doing this. So it popped up because I don't know what's going on with Wendy's. You have Wendy's by you, right? Yeah. So a bunch of Wendy's have shut down in my area. Well, not a
Really?
bunch, like a handful, and they just closed up shop and gone, poof, and don't know why. And so started looking it up. Something's, I don't know, with the franchise or something. I don't know. But anyway, McDonald's came up, and there was, I guess, McDonald's has a no poach agreement in their employment clauses, where, and I thought, oh, so what? Like, you can't poach from other fast food places? No, it's from internal. So you can't poach from other franchise stores or corporate stores, even after the person's fired for a period of 6 months.
Yeah, that's fair.
And so
Yeah,
they've
they don't
since
want their
removed
own employees go
moving
moving for
moving
another
around, right? So
25 cents.
they've
Yeah.
since removed that clause from their employment agreements, and because there was lawsuits, of course, and all this stuff. But it got me thinking. We were talking recently, and then actually today I was talking to someone about hoarding talent in the organization, managers hoarding talent in the organization. And this is kind of the same thing to me. This isn't one of the stories I want to talk about, but it came up, and it literally just came up today, and I wanted to talk about it. Because if I'm working at a McDonald's over here, and this McDonald's over here has a better role or a better team for me, why can't I move? And if I left McDonald's, why can't I get another job at another McDonald's somewhere else? Just because it's a better fit for me.
Yeah, and some of that comes down to commute too, right? So you add in this one. You just opened one up 2 blocks from my house. Um, I think you should. If it comes down to performance, if someone's good, you want to reward them. And if somebody's bad, getting back to kind of the unspoken rule at Walmart back in the day was you didn't transfer trash.
Right, right,
So you didn't promote trash, you didn't transfer trash. Again, never written down, but
right.
spoken about often. And so, like again, if somebody's good and it's a move up, like now you're a night manager, that
Why not?
that pays well. Yeah, I think you want to keep them because it helps your customers. Back in the day, and this is, I'd met the chief technology officer for McDonald's at some event, and like he
Hmm.
and I just got along, smoked cigars, hung out, and I didn't know this, but half of McDonald's was corporate and half of it was franchise. Uh, You know,
Hmm. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
50-50
Hmm.
ish. And they had a relationship, again, kind of a relationship there where, they want their franchises to do well.
Sure.
You don't want to, you don't want them to flounder. That doesn't help anybody. But they had a transfer policy where
Yeah.
it, again, made it easy for people to go from between corporate and franchise,
Right.
franchise to corporate, franchise to other franchise, et cetera, owners, et
Yeah,
cetera.
I was shocked. Uh,
Yeah.
anyway, all right. Let me talk about this story. So this is a this story is this is I guess it's a study. More than half of U.S. workers say they're lonely. I can't even get through the goddamn sentence. They're more than half of U.S. workers say they're lonely,
Yeah.
disrupting productivity at work. So, this comes from a report by Cigna. It's called The Hidden Cost of Loneliness.
Huh.
It's interesting.
Oh.
It's actually an interesting. Yeah, I know. I know. And so it looks at how loneliness shows up at work, right? Cue the
Okay.
violin,
Okay.
and how thoughtful is the word they used. Actions and strategies can help employers combat it and increase employee vitality. Yeah. Oh, all that to say that yeah, more than half of American workers are lonely. Turns out, apparently, it has real implications on business.
Does it?
Yeah, I guess I'm trying to be sensitive here, so I'm not,
I
an
think I,
ass.
I think I would separate that into A players and C players.
Yeah, that was my initial thought. I mean,
A players aren't lonely.
yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm like, I'm reading through this, and it was actually a really like you should read it. We'll put the link somewhere. It was actually a really interesting report, and actually, I went through the whole thing and I read it, and I went through and I looked at it again, and I just couldn't help but think like, God, man, like how weak is society that we're lonely, and that's affecting our work, and I get it, but like this is really a thing.
It, it's in society. I mean, go back through history, but at this stage in history, I can see where people are disconnected
Yeah.
because life's overwhelming. There's war. There's all kinds of stuff going on. Like I can see that people can be overwhelmed, have a lot of anxiety, lonely. Again, if you've grown up with the internet, you're already in this phase of not necessarily hanging out with people, as opposed to when you grew up or when I grew up. We didn't have that. You went outside, you hung out with people, good, bad, and otherwise. Like
Yeah.
you know, so you weren't lonely because you could always go and play baseball or go play soccer or whatever the bit was, or go to the roller skating rink. Like it was a choice. If you really
The
wanted to be
roller
lonely,
skating rink, we did that all the time.
oh hell yeah,
Did you skate in groups and you had your little groove lines? And
I can go backwards. I was actually
oh
pretty
yeah,
decent. I
yeah,
was
yeah.
decent-ish, but I wouldn't let my dad drop me off at the roller skating rink. That was the rule
You had to go like a block away, and yeah,
because he had the white station wagon with the wood paneling on the
yeah.
side, and I'm
Your,
like,
your
yeah,
family would have that. Yeah,
yeah. I'm like, exactly.
would
I'm
have
like,
that.
yeah. I need you to, and he made fun of me about it. He's like, at one point they're gonna see the car. I'm like, yeah. Let's just
Who
kind of
cares?
let's
Who
hit pause on
cares?
that.
Yeah. So all this to say, I mean, look, I mean, read the report. It's interesting, but what it comes down to is when people feel isolated, they stop investing and this is like even at work, they stop investing their energy in work, right? They clock in,
It's
they clock out, they check out.
it's
Um,
discretionary effort is what
discretionary effort
you're trying
is,
to unlock that.
yeah, and you're not getting it because they're lonely. But let me ask you two questions here. Couple questions. So just give me your percentage. If I asked you what percentage of employees come to work feeling mentally somewhere else, what would you say?
All 100%.
Okay.
And it's just the amount of time. So
42%.
yeah. So that what would be interesting there is to break it down by age and race and gender and all of those types of things and see if you got generational stuff. But you can't be 100% dialed in all the time. If you're putting in 8, 9, 10 hours a day, you're going to have times when you're just disconnected. And I would suggest that's actually a good thing.
Of
You
course it
know,
is. I think
go
it
do
is.
something to refresh. If it's a walk
Yeah.
around the block, if
Yeah.
it's,
It's the law
you
of
know,
diminishing returns. At some point, you got, in fact, hold on. I'll be right back. Let me go take a walk. I'll be right back.
right. I
Like,
again, that's one of those bits. It's like I think everybody,
yeah.
CEO, receptionist, all the way
Yeah.
through,
Yeah, no.
everybody's going to be
Loneliness hits everybody. All right, so two more quick points. Um, and these both have the same number, so I'm just going to ask you both. How many of those employees miss at least one day of work per month? And then how many of those same employees are likely to search for a new job?
Well, I'll be dealing with the new job thing in one of my articles, so I won't answer that one. But I will say the 1 day a week, I think they should be taking more than 1 day a week. I mean, more 1 day, yeah, I think they should be taking more than 1 day a month.
They already get
Sick day,
Saturday and Sunday.
yeah, but again,
No, I
it's
agree. I agree.
back to the diminished return. Let you want to go to the museum, go.
Yeah.
It's going to be kind of a question of are you in the mode that you're going to get the best productivity out of yourself, and if
Yeah.
not, sleep in.
Yeah. Well, that's the interesting piece is employers still do not trust employees to get the work done, right? And we've seen. I mean, in over in was it UK? They did a 4-day work week or whatever. Here, it's been tried here. It hasn't quite become the norm at all. But why
We have different work ethics.
we have different work
The
ethics? Yeah,
definitions of work ethic.
yeah. But I mean, even so, I mean, I don't think this is something that could be. Now, this isn't part of the research, the survey, but I don't think just leaving an open work week, just get your work done when you're done, because the employer's paying, like they need to get a
Yeah,
return, like
hundred
there
percent.
needs to be some form of control. But 4 days, 5 days, that's fine. But to take a day or two off every month, that's not a bad thing, and people are afraid to do that here.
You got something interesting there if you add in AI and workflows and people that are just better at AI than those that aren't. And again, you're rewarding people or you'd be potentially punishing people that are good at AI. Like, oh, you got to be here for 45 hours
Yeah,
a week. It's like, man, if I can get my
yeah,
job done in 39, like, why are we
yeah.
talking?
If you want benefits, baby, you're gonna be there for 40 hours. Your
Yeah.
house won't work.
No, I'm gonna be doom scrolling for an hour or two. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, I
yeah,
mean, you're
yeah.
paying me to do Instagram?
Yeah, I
Cool.
mean, I don't know about you, but for me, and then we'll jump on to your story. For me, even a half day is often very productive.
Oh,
If I
100%.
I'm sometimes going to be more productive doing a half day, meaning I leave early, not start late. If I start late, then I just waste my morning at home. Unless I have something truly to do on the schedule, like go to a doctor or go
Right.
hang out at a school event or something. I'd rather work until 2 o'clock and then be gone because I can do something and I know I have something to look for and I'm more productive to get that done. Even in our situation, because we're not corporate, we're
Yeah.
nowhere near corporate,
Mm.
but I still have that corporate mentality. I haven't been able to shake it after
But
15,
yeah.
15 years. Like, I need to get it done before I leave. And you don't
Right.
really have to get it done before you leave. I can get it done as I get it done if it gets done the right way and on time.
That's right.
And, but yeah, no, it's
My
ingrained in my brain.
my bit isn't early or late. It's because I look at a 24-hour cycle. I'm a napper. So if I've got a 30-minute window where I don't have something on the schedule, because I have a bed 15 feet from where I'm sitting right now, I'll just go over there, set my alarm, done.
Yeah, we've talked about this before on a recording. I wonder if we can find it and we can put it together. Like, if you can't find William, man, he's not responding.
That's exactly right.
He's napping. He can
Yeah.
hear the ding. He's just
Oh
not
yeah.
paying
No,
attention.
no, no. I mute that. No,
Yeah. All right. Go ahead. Take it
I
away.
can't hear you do it.
Move
All
us
right.
on.
Let me read one to you. So I got one retention and one recruiting. So this one's going to be retention is stability over ambition. Workers are sitting tight in 2026, according to Monsters 2026 Work Watch report. Workers are pumping the brakes. Only 43% of U.S. workers say they plan to job hunt in 2026. That is a massive drop from last year. Instead of chasing titles, raises, or shiny new roles, people are prioritizing job security, predictability, and staying put. This is a PR Newswire, but you can go find the monster report and get more details there. So, what I love about this is it kills one of my HR myths: is that employees are always one bad meeting away from quitting. They're not,
Mhm.
and especially they're not now. This isn't about laziness or complacency. It's about the economic realism. And so they're watching all the things that we're watching in terms of layoffs and
Mhm.
freezes, and all that stuff, and they're putting their heads down. So we've been taught to think about flight risk
Yeah.
and engagement, some of these types of stuff, and they're now thinking about job security. That's what
Yeah.
matters under everything else is this idea of fear of quitting.
Mhm.
Yes, stop all that. Just if you really want to keep people, pay them more. But turns out that works. But this quote that they have at the end of the bit, people will leave if we don't wow them. Turns out
Mhm.
that's me. They're asking, is this job safe? Which is a radical departure from the last few years, where we've talked a lot about retention, a lot about engagement, a lot about all these other quality values,
Yeah.
culture, and all this stuff. It's like, no, employees are going into their little bunkers and going, will I have this job
Yeah. I've
6 months
I've
from now?
always I've always thought that though. I don't think I've ever not thought it was about security. Even like way pre, I mean, talking like early 2000s. It wasn't. I know we went through the foosball stage and slides in the office and all that crap, basketball nets and all that. But I don't think that's really what it was. That made it fun, but I think it masked the issue of, is my job safe? Because my job's not safe. I'm looking.
Right.
I don't care how many foosball tables you had.
Doesn't
If
matter.
I didn't feel safe and if I didn't like my manager, I was always looking. Like that was just the program. That's how it was going to be. But I don't think that's ever changed. I think that was me in 2000, 2015,
It's
2010.
still me now.
Still me now. I mean, look, if you're not nice to me, you're going to have to find your ass another host.
I
Like
understand.
you're on your own.
I understand.
You could actually do both sides of this by yourself though.
Ask the
I could
question,
totally
answer
see
the
you.
question, ask the question.
And yeah, no, I could see you actually recording it twice, a different color shirt, and actually having the conversation with yourself. We should do an episode that way.
Do you know I talk to myself? Yeah. Okay. So I mean, like that. People, there's some, I don't know, taboo around that. I'm like, yeah, I
Sure,
talk to myself.
sure.
Who else would I talk to? Like,
Yeah,
of course I talk to
right.
myself. Duh.
There's nobody that can hold a conversation with me. I talk to me,
No,
right?
no. I mean, like, I'll remind myself, and like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
make sure you do that. Like,
yeah,
and like my kids and wife are like, are you talking to yourself? I'm like,
yeah.
yeah.
When I answer myself, call the
Or
hospital.
start arguing. Start arguing. Shut up.
That's another issue. So,
Yeah. It's mental health is what
yeah.
that is.
All right. So, Boston Dynamics. We all know Boston Dynamics. They are training humanoid manufacturing workers. So this isn't new, right? They've always had the robot, and we've seen them like the jumping robot
Yeah,
or
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
the
Like the
robot
one
that
that looks like a
falls.
dog. Yeah.
Yeah, the dog robot and all that stuff over the years. And when I read this story, I thought to myself, okay, I remember when that dog came out and everyone was like, oh my God, there
It's
goes the
gonna
world. It's over. No, we're still here. We're still
turns
here.
out. Turns
And the
out.
dog still hasn't gotten much smarter. Just saying. Like it still kind of does the same thing. So anyway, they're building these manufacturing style robots or humanoids is what they're calling them. By the way, I did not know this. Did you know Hyundai owns 88% of Boston Dynamics?
Makes sense.
Like,
I mean, I didn't know that, but it makes sense because they're using them in their manufacturing.
yeah, I should have fact checked that. I mean, it's direct from the article, but I should probably fact.
I wonder if they also let other car manufacturers use it. It'd be interesting if they're the only ones, or if they use it and they let other people, Toyota, Honda, etc. If they let other people use it, that's interesting. I'll look into that.
So the previous version of these iteration of these robots, the dogs and so forth, they were the difference between those and the ones we're seeing today.
Right.
Well, there's a lot of differences. I don't know them, but
Yeah.
they were manually coded by humans. So the dog had a program to follow,
Right.
right, and so on and so forth. Now they've got this AI powered brain. It's powered by an NVIDIA chip, and so it learns in a few different ways. And this is what's really interesting. And they're training them to work in manufacturing settings. So the idea is like they're not going to replace your job. You're actually going to build these robots. You're humanoids, sorry, and you're going to train them. And then when they need to be fixed, you're also going to fix them.
Right.
And then you're also going to maintain and manage their quality and their completions and all this other stuff. And so the idea is that these humanoids are going to hold the heavy components, move heavy components from place to place, et cetera,
Oh,
et cetera.
interesting.
And so anyhow, so one of the ways that they learn, which is really interesting, and ties directly into everything work related, of course, is through VR. And so they get a VR headset, and then there's a controller, right, and motion capture suits and things like this, where the person's doing the function, and they're learning. And so the example that was given was jumping jacks, right? So the guy was doing jumping jacks with a motion capture suit, and after like 6 hours of doing jumping jacks and jumping and crawling and this and that, the humanoid, I still sound weird, says
I
humanoid.
know it's too
Like,
close
but
to
that's what they're
hemorrhoid.
calling
Too
them. Yeah.
too close to hemorrhoid.
Yeah. But they mastered the skill
Huh.
of the jumping jack, the walking, the skipping, the crawling, the whatever they called it, and then the jumping jack. And so they were able to then do the actual tasks that were required through that,
Right.
right? And that's how they're training these. And so it's a really
I love
interesting,
it.
yeah, it's a really interesting play. But the idea is that in the manufacturing facility, think, right now there's like whatever the machines, they suction the doors and they hold the doors and this.
Right.
Like,
Right.
they're
Right.
gonna lift these things, they're gonna move stuff from end to end, they're gonna hold them up as things are getting done. But the humans are going to actually do the managing, the
Yeah.
servicing of them and building of them. So it's
It's
kind of
it's
interesting.
interesting to see. We'll have to monitor, but it'll be interesting to see where that places unions. Once a auto manufacturer goes all the way through that and does the entire shop, what's the need for having a union? Because a union
Mm.
is employees versus management, etc. And so, like,
Yeah, I
okay,
don't know.
what do you need it for? And again,
Do
I'm
they
I'm
do they then
anti-union.
take over robots?
I I
I mean, that could be
if
pretty
the
cool.
robots unionize, we're we're fucked. Is
Well, I mean,
really
think
the
about it though, right? Like, let's play this path. So let's just say, manufacturing facility, cars or whatever, appliances, whatever.
yeah.
Let's just say they have 150 humanoids,
Yep.
right, in there. Well, I highly doubt the company's going to build the robots, right, the humanoids, because then they got to build them, they got to service them, they got to update them, maintain. They're going to come from someone else. Now you can either purchase them
Yep.
or you can pay them almost like a staffing firm. Look at that business. We have humanoid staffing firm. They're unionized because they have to be. You can't work them to death, or they're
Why
not
not?
going to last.
Why not?
I mean, you could, but I mean, look, if you rent a car from Enterprise, you only get so many mileage before you have to pay per mile.
Well, I always have unlimited miles, but
You just
it's
don't leave, you don't return the car. Yeah, no. So, however, most of us, right?
truth
Well,
hurts.
no, like you go to U-Haul or something like that, right? You get pay 20, like, okay, you get to use the robot, the humanoid, but after X amount of hours, you're paying a premium because there's wear and tear, and I can see
I
that
I could
unionized.
I could see somebody rolling that model out. I mean,
Why not us?
we with the use case, we actually interviewed a person in New York that was creating agentic AI employees that were doing kind of actual. They were doing more financial and accounting
Yeah.
and those types of things. And basically, they'd find errors, and then they'd present it to the humans to
Right.
reconcile, et cetera, like that. But you'd rent them, so it was
Mhm.
you didn't own them. You rented the bit, and then it would already be trained on your model, et cetera. Um, Before we go to the next thing, did you have you watched the movie Subservience on Netflix?
No, I have not.
It's got Megan Fox in it,
I will.
and she's a humanoid. She's a robot.
Oh, Subser. I'm gonna look it up right now as we're talking because I'm
Just
gonna put it up on a tab. And
stop what you're doing and
yeah,
watch that movie. And it is, I don't think she's a great actress or anything, but it is a
I
fantastic
have it. I
movie.
have it here.
Oh
Yeah,
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 no,
yeah.
it,
You know,
go ahead.
as we're doing this, you know what I'm thinking. I think I wore this
You think
sweatshirt the last barf.
no one will ever care or know, and so don't worry about that. Let me get through this last one so we get on. So Um, HR leaders are cautiously optimistic about hiring in 2026, but that optimism is fragile. Employees want to hire, but skill gaps, AI adoption, economic uncertainty, and internal hesitation is slowing the real momentum. This isn't a hiring boom story. This is a we'll hire, comma, but only if everything lines up perfectly story.
Hmm.
So this is HR Dive. They do some cool stuff. So definitely check them out. So I like this piece because it tells the truth that rarely HR admits out loud, and that most companies don't actually know if they're ready to hire. You know what I'm saying? This gets back to workforce planning and all kinds of other kind of brokenness that's there. It's all a lot of reactive. Hiring manager goes,
Yeah.
shit, I need five, engineers, and it's like, okay, now we have to go through that thing. So it's actually really, really good article. So you've got a couple of factors going on. You got CFOs that still they're tightening the screws, trying to get costs down. Leaders believe growth is coming. Hiring managers want unicorns, and HR is stuck in the middle, holding a half-approved requisition, which I thought was fantastic.
Hmm.
And this isn't all about AI hype. It's about kind of what MBAs call analysis paralysis or decision
Hmm.
paralysis. So the uncomfortable truth behind this is companies don't necessarily lack talent; they lack confidence, and that changes everything. And it means that kind of a longer time to fill isn't a process problem; it's a trust problem. Skill shortages are sometimes just indecision with better PR. That's actually a direct quote,
Hmm.
which I thought was fantastic. Uh,
Yeah.
and workforce planning is reactive instead of directional, like we talked about. So I love this phrase. Like this should be used again. Skills shortages are sometimes just indecision with better PR.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is when you say it out loud. Yeah, exactly what it. And look, a lot of, I mean, a lot of so many companies hire for the sake of hiring. And we saw that. Well, I mean, it's just a cycle. It happens all the time. And then companies lay off and then they get hammered for laying people off and they're just right sizing. I know that's a shitty term, but it's the truth, right? Like
Right.
you're doing really well. You need more people. Okay, let's make it easier on the staff, right? You need five more ops people, 50 more ops people. Cool. Go get them. But then reality sets in. You don't grow at 50% year over year. You're at like 10%. And you're like, shit, we hire too much.
It's funny because the way you're talking about it is what reminds me of like sports teams. They go through the ups and downs of, hey, we got a great defense. Okay, we don't have two wide receivers that can catch the ball, but we got a great defense. Well, okay, and then all of a sudden now you go fix that problem, and whether or not you're doing it with college or high school or pro, it really doesn't matter. All of a sudden now it's like, oh yeah, are all of our linebackers left? Now
Yeah.
what?
It's like when you win the Super Bowl, you lose your team
Oh, 100%.
and your coach.
Everybody wants to. Well, you're an Eagles fan, so that coach is never safe.
No, no,
Never,
yeah,
never safe.
no.
There's a rumor that they're. I know that he's not fired or probably will be fired. But Greg Olson, that they're talking to Greg Olson about the position.
What for who?
For the Eagles.
For what? The head coach?
Head coach.
Hey, get out of here.
Do you
First of
remember
all, we don't want him, number one.
Do you remember Greg Olson
Yeah, of
at
course
Miami?
I remember. Yeah. No, that ain't happened. No, they're not getting rid of Sirianni. He makes stupid things, but he's the players love him, and at least on the surface, and the fans love him, even though we complain about him. But the biggest thing now is we could have went for the second seed. He's like, that's great, but I made a decision, and I'm sticking to it, and I made the decision based
Still got the W, though.
Yeah.
In that position, they can take the day off, which they need to rest to get ready for the next 4 games of what they're going to go through. However, I really think that was a mistake.
Oh, absolutely. I don't agree with it. I think, especially after the fact that at this point it was too late in the game because the players were cold. When Detroit
somebody would have gotten injured,
the field goal, somebody would have gotten injured, so you couldn't switch him out. Like, you made the decision. What I don't, and I know we're way off base. We'll bring it back. Tanner McKee, who is the backup here for those listening in
Great
Philly,
White Hope.
Everyone's like, "Oh my God, Tanner McKee, quarterback!"
Yeah.
Like, first off. Jalen Hurts ain't going nowhere. But to say that Tanner McKee can't be a starting quarterback, the guy played with 100%, maybe 98% backups.
Oh, yeah, so that's fair.
Though the ball,
that's not a fair evaluation.
Yeah. So even though some of the passes were behind the receivers, were they? Or did the receiver not run the right route? Like, you don't know. They're B2 players.
How many reps does he get? Like, during this season, how many reps does he? They're backups for a reason.
Yes.
By and large, unless you have a Tom Brady type of situation where he's a backup, not a backup.
Yeah.
But
well, when
more often than not,
a lot of the sportscasters here, and I know we got to cut it, but they're saying, "Oh, our backup depth is awful," and they couldn't. Well, hold on. At what point in time in the season is your backup center going to play with 12 other fucking backups? No.
Yeah,
so, when a backup comes in at right guard, you've got 11 other people there that are starters.
You can fairly evaluate, do you have something here?
Yeah, they're absorbing the pain of a backup.
Non sequitur, real quick. The Steelers-Ravens game
was
wheels off. Like, just wheels off watching that play out. And again, they're playing for the only playoff position that either of them's going to get.
Right.
Is the divisional, because all the wild cards had
they're all
11 wins. So, anywho, great barf.
Yeah, that's it, man. We will see y'all next time. This is
wear a different shirt.
Back. What's that?
Wear a different shirt.
Yeah, I will wear a different shirt. I'll wear a different shirt next time for those of you keeping. So now, when you're listening to this episode, they're going to go back.
Oh,
you're going to see the last 5.
Dude, seriously.
You got the same shirt on.
Yeah, go to a thrift store.
It is what it is, brother. All right. We'll see y'all next time.